Hey guys, I'm Eric.
I'm Glenda.
And I'm John in the middle.
We are D&E Miniature and Board Games. So, we got done playing a few games of Wander, Cult of Barnacle Bay. This is a game by Panda Cult Games. Heath and Jonathan, great guys. We actually got to meet them at Discover Games when we went and played this about a year or so ago when they were still playtesting in the prototype. So, we score on 5 categories: graphics and artwork, rulebook, components, replayability, and overall fun. We have a 1 to 5 scoring range, 3 being average, 5 being great, 1 being just cow dong. Tim normally is here and he usually takes graphics and artworks. He is not here today, so you know what? Let's play rock, paper, scissors, see who gets it.
Wow, okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Well, I'm out. You guys have to go.
No, you won.
Whoa.
No, scissors, rock beats scissors. So you and Glenda have to go.
Oh, okay.
Rock beats scissors, so you should be the first one.
No, I lost.
I know. I thought the odd person how it goes.
Exactly.
But that's all right.
That's all right.
Are we gonna do rock, paper, scissors,
Sure.
shoot? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors. Shoot.
Okay, Glenda goes first. Graphics and artwork.
All right, so let's start this. Graphics and artwork. I love the game. I love the artwork. I enjoyed looking at the artwork. So for me, that's a 5. If I like looking at the artwork, enjoying looking at the artwork, that's a 5. And you know, because you're gonna be playing it, you're gonna be looking, you're gonna be moving. So those artworks are good. It's a 5.
You know what? Since I was second place and not
Might
the
as
loser
well.
of rock, paper, scissors, I might as well go next.
Okay.
I also gave it a 5. Just the sculpts of the miniatures, the colors on the tiles.
With the sculpts of the miniatures being graphics and artwork.
Because I wanted to say that, even though it's a component, but I just had to say. I mean,
Well,
but when you
it's part
take it
of the artwork.
of just
It is
the
an artwork.
overall the artistic design
Correct.
that is in here, that it captures the theme of Barnacle Bay. You're making faces over there. You're just having fun. No, but I mean, as you look at the tiles, just your light to dark
Correct.
variants of on. We've all seen games where some tiles are just, even though they're trying to put a lot of colors on there, it's not. These pop. You feel like you're there moving through the streams, through the rocks, in the grass. It's
You can feel it, right?
it's really nice. In everything that they have on there, there's good color. I really liked their graphics and artwork.
Eric.
I gave graphics and artwork a total 5. I love the graphics and artwork of this game. I love the character cards. I love the map tiles. I love everything about the graphics and artworks of this game. I just thought it was an outstanding job. I know that Heath did a lot. Heath Foley, is it Foley? Foley, yeah. Did a lot of work on the artwork on this and the graphics, and it shows. He blood, sweat, and tears on this one, and it was a great job.
Well thought of.
I gave it a straight 5. Glenda, go into the rule book.
Wow. Okay, the rule book. Okay, so I used the mobile rule book, and it wasn't really hard. Again, maybe the concept of the game, the mechanics of the game, it's actually not hard. And then going through the rule book, they really put thought into it, took their time to elaborate, to put all the teeny tiny notes and everything, even the definition of moves and everything. And then they itemized the scenario. So I actually gave it a 5. I normally don't give 5, but I thought this is one of those that they did not assume that you know how to play a game. So it can lead you to knowing, learning, and actually enjoying playing the game, just using the rule book. Reading the rule book.
Because reading is fundamental, John.
I don't know how to read.
Didn't go next.
All right, so the rule book, I actually gave the rule book a 3. Now, while I really like the way it looks, and it's and it's great, I had just some issues with it. And going through as you're reading, there's a lot of jumping back and forth. That's just something. Some of that is just a personal, because I get a little lost as I'm trying to run through, and I've got to flip to another area and flip back. We also found, I found a few areas that were some mistakes pointing on the cards of some where to put things at for the labeling. So just there was the one time we were playing the game, we came up with a scenario how it landed up that we didn't even find in the rule book. So there was just some little bit of variances as to why I gave it a 3. I mean, overall though, it is still a solid rule book that you can go through.
I have to concur with John. I gave the rulebook a 3 as well. I might be being a little bit harsh on it, but I felt also, I have to agree, I felt it jumped around. There were some things that it's like should have been in setup, but they were way back on page 6 instead of at the setup. And that was when we were looking for morale, where it started. Things that should have been in setup maybe weren't as clear or defined in the setup part of the game. I also, when we were playing, we had a point where we actually had started shooting a playthrough and had to stop and restart it because we were looking for this one rule.
Yeah.
We ran out of models for, was it grunts?
Grunts.
And even till now, we still haven't found the rule of what do you do if you run out of models when you're spawning. There's no, it may be there, but
it's not easy to find.
We can't find it. And that's kind of an important thing because with event cards and with your spawn tokens, and though you think there's enough of them, we found out there weren't enough. We were one short. So because of that, I gave Rulebook 3. Components. We're just going to keep going like we were. Glenda?
Components, I gave it a 4. I like all the components. It's all needed. It's all there. The dice, the color, how they design the ranged and the melee, makes a difference. All the figures are well defined. It doesn't look cheap. The characters, they created the original. So the components, they're fun, they're colorful, they look like they're gonna last a lifetime. But no, not a lifetime. That's too exaggerated. But the only thing is on the components. I know it's not as far as the number because he mentioned it. As far as the matching of the number of the characters and the possibility of getting it again as you spawn, you don't have enough. So we encountered that. So like what he said. So I gave it a 4. Because that's needed, I guess. So, but everything else is great.
John?
Components, I gave the components a 5. I liked the components. I guess in some ways with giving it a 5, this sounds crazy. The hero card was a little thin, but I still went with the 5
good.
Because I overall felt the weight even to the miniatures. Sometimes when you fill them up, they just feel completely hollow, and I'm gonna stop playing with your miniature before I get hit. But no, I really liked all the components of the game that I have had my hands on playing through with multiple times we've played through it.
Don't get me wrong, I liked everything about the components. The reason I gave components a 4, and the only reason is that I think in the mass producing of the miniatures, they may have lost a little bit of the quality they had in the original molds. I just noticed that in some of the faces, that some of the smaller characters, the faces weren't as well defined.
Really? You really look at it?
I did. Well, I did the close-ups in the unboxing.
I know.
This is the close-up.
And it's not a bad thing. The figures all look really nice, but if you did want to go to paint them, I think that they maybe did lose a little definition in the facial features. So I just get, and that's it.
Other than that, it's really
Other than that, I really liked all the others, everything about it. 4.
4.
Glenda, replayability?
Replayability, I gave it a 4. Multiple scenarios, lots of campaigns. A lot of people can play at the same time. But I guess I couldn't give it a 5. So I really can't give it a 5. I gave it a 4. For me, it's just stops right there. It can be something that like it's gonna be the same or something. I gave it a 4. It's still good, but
Heresy. John?
heresy for a 4.
I gave it a 5 for replayability. Definitely one of the factors in that is this fantastic campaign book here that has a plethora of campaigns to go through. But just the overall, the times we've played it and going through, there's enough variance to me that you don't know what you're going to end up, if it's going to be an event card, if you're going to end up getting a treasure thanks to the the darkness tiles. It just adds that random. Even if you have the same board setup, it's not the same because there's enough cards shuffled in there, so it's at random. So for me, that replayability, I really do see this being a game that you can go at for a long time and keep moving up. The fact that on your hero card, to reach the ultimate level 5, you have to get to, was that 125 experience points, to me tells that you're going to be playing
25.
Oh, sorry, I can't count. I thought that was a 1. Just kidding. To get to 25, it's going to take you through several of the scenarios to get up to that 5th one, and then you go in and you keep going through. So I'm going to stick with my 5. And
You stick with your 5.
Alright, so I gave replayability a 5 as well. The reason I did was, number one, I agree. This is a huge, huge campaign book. And it's a huge campaign book. But on top of that, we played the intro 3 times. The first scenario of the intro 3 times. And it was different every time. The darkness tiles adds in so much to that. You have so many darkness tiles that can go on there. You randomly put them on there. It's a shuffled up deck. Who knows what you're going to have. One game we had 3 treasures. And this time we didn't. The other thing I have to add is what John just picked up is the event deck. That's the event deck. There are so many chances in this event deck. So many different outcomes that can come from this event deck. And not to mention, you have a good amount of spawn cards. It's not a huge amount, but for the first game and first expansion, it's a very good amount of spawn cards. You have different treasures, different treasure levels, the relic cards that we didn't get to. You have, with the expansion, you have several different characters that can be spawned on the board to attack you in different orders. You go to the different... Once you get level up to level 2, they get stronger. You level to level 3, they get stronger. You have different of the mega brutes because of the Kickstarter exclusives. There is so much in this game that adds to so much replayability. I gave it a solid 5. Glenda, fun.
Well, wait. Can I say
So
one more
much.
thing on that replayability? The one thing that we didn't mention is you're making the choice as you read through the story, deciding
Which way to go?
Which way to
it's
go.
a choose your own adventure.
Exactly. If you choose your own adventure, there you go. You can decide different
You're
every
hitting me
time.
with your phone, sir.
Stop touching my leg phone.
You know what? You guys, you're really, really calm. You have a common score in this one. And I look like I'm the oddball. Am I the only one who see that it doesn't matter how many scenarios and all that and all at the same, you're still going to have the same. That's why I'm off by 1. I just can't give it that because this kind of game gives me that, yeah, okay, I'm going to roll a different person, a different character, but that's just me. I'm not
What was your fun score?
justifying my 4. My fun? Oh my god, it's a fun 5. I can't give it any other score. It's 100% a fun game.
John?
It's fine, everybody. This game is for everybody, young and old alike. So, play it, buy it, play it, enjoy it.
Alright, guys, so we all gave it 5. We had a blast playing this. We had a blast a year ago playing
Yes,
this,
we
and we
did,
had a
we
blast
did.
playing it tonight.
It has
This
a
is a
story.
fun, it's family oriented, it's actually pretty easy to learn,
It is.
and this got age requirements, but I'm sure younger than the age requirements
We
could
can
play it
play
without a lot of problems. The thing that helps it, and it was one of the things that I mentioned when we were actually playtesting it, it's got a lot of, if you played like Arcade Quest or Zombicide by CMON, it's got a lot of those same characteristics where it helps you pick up on the game, but it's got enough differences that it's not
No.
those games.
Correct.
It's just that the learning curve is a lot
Somewhat.
easier with it.
Yeah.
Total score for this, 4.5. Outstanding guy, outstanding job. Heath and John, great job with the final product.
Yeah.
And,
Jonathan. Yeah, you're right.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Great job. 4.5 overall score. Hey, support your local game, and we support
Discovery Games, Fayetteville.
Georgia.
which is where we originally played this game when they came and demoed it at the store. As always, guys, game on.
Game on.
Game on some more.
There you go.